Have you ever wanted your own podcast? Well, now you can. With Anchor, you can make your podcast dreams come true. It's free and easy to use. Anchor will allow you to edit your podcast however you like. It will also distribute your podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and many more. You can make money with no minimum listenership. Download the free Anchor app today or go to anchor.fm to get started. That's anchor.fm to get started. Or download the free Anchor app. Hatters! And happy Father's Day to all you fathers out there. Just wanted to give you all heads up. Today is a very big day for my podcast. We are going to be discussing every single new thing going on with the Disney World and Disneyland and everything that's going on in the world. So let's just jump right into it. Today, being Father's Day, the 21st, tomorrow, starting tomorrow at 7 a.m., you will be able to make a reservation for Walt Disney World. Those of you who have existing hotel reservations and tickets, along with annual pass holders who have resorts stay as well, you are able to make a reservation starting tomorrow. So be up at 7 a.m. so that you can make your first reservations. June 26th, we will be giving annual pass holders without a hotel reservation. They are going to be able to make their reservations. So that's me. We get to make our reservations on Friday. That's going to be pretty cool. And then on June 28th, we get anybody who just bought just park days that don't have resort or anything. They just bought park tickets for a day. Or it probably have to be multiple days. I don't think you can. I think you can buy just a day. But anybody who has just bought a park ticket, that on June 28th, you will be able to make your reservations. And again, you must be up at 7 a.m. I will explain how this works. So, tomorrow, 7 a.m., anybody with a hotel reservation, like I said, or an annual pass holder with a reservation that already has an existing, not something that you just made. It has to be an existing one that has not been, just made. And these have to be the people who are coming here exactly on July 11th. So anybody who's coming from their vacations from July 11th on, these are the people who get to make their 7 a.m. reservations. Now, you get to book for your whole trip, for your stay. You're only allowed one park a day. Now, granted, on July 11th to the 15th, only Magic Kingdom and Animal Kingdom will be open. you would have to wait till the 15th to go into Epcot or Hollywood Studios. So if you have your trip set up to, say, if you're coming here July 11th and you're leaving, let's just say July 17th, you can book up to your date and go to Hollywood Studios. Now, here's the thing. Like I said, between that time period, you're going to only allowed to go to one park a day. So choose wisely, because there might be that one day, like me, that's what I was trying to explain to people. Is like, say, if you're coming here on July 11th, you can make that your one day you're not going to go to the park, and make that your travel day, which if I'm you, I would make that just a travel day and not go in the park, only because the parks are closing at 7, and I believe 8 or 9 o'clock. So you also got to think about that. So say if you fly out here on the 11th and you get here at, say, 1 o'clock, it's not worth going to the park. You probably just spend a resort day that day, then come on the 12th to Magic Kingdom, and then say the 13th you can go to Animal Kingdom, and you can book again for the 14th for Magic Kingdom, or we can go back to Animal Kingdom. That's what they're doing. But there are going to be 2 days, what I've been explaining to people who are coming here on the 11th. There will be 2 days if you do this, where you will do resorts until Epcot opens up and Hollywood Studios open up on, was it, the July 15th. For pass holders, you only get 3 days. 3. Uno, dos, tres. And X-nay for more days. Do I have to repeat myself? Well, I guess I just will repeat myself. How about that?
3 wishes to be exact. And Ixnay on the wishing for more wishes. That's it. 3. Uno, dos, tres. No substitutions, exchanges, or refund.
Now,
So, that means that you get 3 days. Now, we have a pass holder preview day on July 9th and July 10th. Now, they have not mentioned if that would be part of one of your 3 days that you get. I would have to call when I call this week because my passes are supposed to be extended, but the dates are being delayed at the moment. So I need to know if they're going to update it sometime soon before the 26th. But they haven't mentioned if they're going to do the 3 days, if that counts. Now, here's how it works out. You will be given 3 days, annual pass holders. You have to use all 3 days before you can get another 3. You can't just go 1 day of the 3 and then pick up another day. They're not going to let you do that. You actually have to finish all 3 days completely before you can get another day. Your next 3. That is what I have been told. I don't know if anybody else has been told differently about if you can go 1 day and then you can get another day because now you're down to 2 days. No one has mentioned that. We haven't received the email yet. I'm hoping the email for the pass holders come in the next couple of days. That would be helpful because then I could mention it again on next week's episode if there are any changes. If there isn't, then I don't have to update anything. There will be no park hopping. Park hopping is eliminated for this time period, so you will not be able to go to another park. So, as we know, on July 11th, only Animal Kingdom and Magic Kingdom will be open. And what you need to understand is you can't just walk away and go to Animal Kingdom. You can't do that. You are strictly for that day. Now, I have been told that you are allowed to leave the park of your choosing of the day and come back. You are allowed to do that. So if you're the type who likes to go out and eat off property, you can do that and then come back. But as long as you come back to that same park and come in before the 7 p.m. Magic Kingdom and the 6 p.m. Animal Kingdom time. Just remember that. They are going to have shorter hours. So that is what's the new reservation system. Also, what was announced, starting January 1st, 2021, Magic Band complimentary bands for resorts are disbanded. We will not be handing out any more Magic Bands. You could still get them on discount, but they will not be sending you free anymore. And that is because they are going straight to the My Disney Experience app, and they are going to put everything on there. They are going to enhance the app now, making it more efficient so they won't need the Magic Bands anymore. I don't know how well that is. I don't know what to think of that at this moment. Maybe in a couple of months when we find out a little bit more about the system that they're going through, yeah, I'll have an opinion. But at this moment, I don't have an opinion. I think it is a good idea. Now, you can buy Magic Bands and you can still use Magic Bands. They're not going to stop that ever completely. I think the Magic Bands are here to stay. But for the next generation of Disney goers and Disney fans for the parks, it is going to be strictly for through the app. So definitely look out for that. More information on that. Now, I do want to say what are going to be open, because a lot of people are asking, what's going to be open during the park when they reopen on July 11th and July 15th. So let me just run by really quick all the attractions that will be available during the reopening. Let's start with Magic Kingdom. These are the Magic Kingdom attractions that will be open. It's a Small World, Astro Orbiter, Big Thunder Mountain, Buzz Lightyear Space Ranger Spin, Country Bear Jamboree, Dumbo the Flying Elephant, Jungle Cruise, Liberty Square Riverboat, Mad Tea Party, Mickey's PhilharMagic, Peter Pan's Flight, Pirates of the Caribbean, Prince Charming Regal's Carousel, Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, Sorcerer of Magic Kingdom, Space Mountain, Splash Mountain, Swiss Family Tree, the Barnstormer, the Hall of Presents, the Haunted Mansion, the Magic Carpet of Aladdin, the Many Adventures of Winnie the Pooh, Tom Sawyer Island, Tomorrowland Speedway, Tomorrowland Transit Authority People Mover, Under the Sea, The Journey of the Little Mermaid, Walt Disney's Carousel of Progress, and Walt Disney's Enchanted Tiki Room. Now, they did state that they were not going to do character meet and greets, but they have announced what they're going to do. This is the entertainment. Main Street Philharmonic are still going to be out, and the character cavalcades. This is where your favorite characters are going to be on the parade route all day, and they're going to be on basically like floats or little cars that will drive them around. Just like what Universal is doing. They'll put them on the float, and then they'll just drive around. They won't stop or anything like that. So you could videotape. If they do stop, you could take a quick picture really quick. So you don't have to, but you got to do it really quick, and you have to do it 6 feet apart. That's what they're doing over at Universal. So I thought that was pretty cool that Disney announced that they will be doing this instead. Now, I'm hoping Disney will go a little further with this. And what I meant by further with this is because Universal has specific spots around the park where they still have their characters come out, but you will be told to stay on the markers that say 6 feet apart, and you could take a picture with them or a video with them. And these are the ones who are not on a float or on the cavalcades. These are the ones who have a specific area where they're going to be, and you could take a quick snap with them and then leave. So I'm hoping Disney will eventually go to that, where they'll have like a blocked off stage so that you could do a quick, snap with these with your favorite characters. I'm hoping with this cavalcades that we will we'll get some characters who don't usually ever come out in the parks. The ones that usually you would only see at Disneyland. So I'm hoping we get to see stuff like Pinocchio come out or Jiminy Cricket. So I'm hoping stuff like that. But here are the names of the parade route cavalcades that they will be doing, which is the Royal Princess Processional, which is all the princesses, Mickey and Friends, so all of his friends, Fantasyland Friends, so I'm assuming Peter Pan and all that, but I think Peter Pan might wait until Tinkerbell and the Lost Treasure cavalcade, so that will be all Tinkerbell and all Peter Pan stuff. So I don't know where they're going with Fantasyland. It might be Winnie the Pooh and a bunch of them. So that's probably the thing. And then Goofy Cavalcade, which is probably just going to be Goofy and Max. So that is a definite. Let me go to Epcot really quick. I am just going to... These are everything that's going to be open, and I'm just going to run by them because I'm not going to say any stores or anything. I'm just going to say the rides. So at Epcot, we're going to have Awesome Planet, which is brand new. It actually just opened right before they closed. Canada Far and Wide, Disney Pixar short film, Friendship Lagoon Boats, Frozen Ever After, Grand Fiesta Tour starring the Three Caballeros, Impressions de France, Journey into the Imagination with Figment, Kid Cot, which is going to, in parentheses, it says it's modified, so it's probably going to be so that it's spaced out. Living with the Land, Mission Space, Reflections of China, Soaring Around the World, Spaceship Earth, which is still going to go into refurbishment. They just don't have a date yet, but it is definitely going to be shut down for the 2 years. They just don't know yet, but right now, because of what's going on and Epcot not having enough rides and attractions going to be open, they decided to hold off on it for now because they're going to need something else to hold all the people. Test Track, The American Adventure, The Seas with Finding Nemo, and Walt Disney Imagineering presents the Epcot Experience. Now, this was interesting to hear. For entertainment, the American Garden Theater presents, they are going to have two of the main people are going to be on the stage, but you're going to be socially distanced. It's the Jamators and the mariachi band. Now, this was actually pretty cool because they haven't done this in a while. If you were in Disney in the early 2000s and late 90s, the Epcot used to have a parade. Not so much no more. So Disney is going to do a character cavalcade parade around the World Showcase, which is going to be Frozen characters, Mickey and Friends, and the Princess Promenade, which is the princesses who are going to be usually in. They're usually in the the restaurant in Norway. So there's that one. Animal Kingdom attractions that are going to be open is Affection section. Interesting. I've been there a lot of times and I just never heard of that one before. But anyway, Avatar Flight of Passage will be open. Dinosaur will be open. Discovery Island Trails, Expedition Everest, Gorilla Falls, It's Tough to Be a Bug, Kali River Rapids, Kilimanjaro Safari, Maharaja Jungle Trek, Navi River Journey, the Animation Experience at the... Ooh, really? I like that. The animation experience, I didn't think they were going to be open. That's where you get to draw your characters and everything. So I did not think they were going to be open. But now that I saw that, I'm actually a little happy because I wanted to go there one day. The Oasis exhibits, the Triceratops Spin, Wilderness Explorers, and Wildlife Express. The entertainment looks like a character cruises throughout the day. Is that going to be that they're going to be on the riverboats? I don't know. It looks like it is. It looks like some characters are going to be on boats and some are going to be on cars. I don't know how they're going to do that. There's not a lot of space for cars to drive in there, but they're going to do the Discover River Characters Cruise, Discovery Island Drummers, the Donald Dinosaur Boat Bash, and Mickey and Friends Flotilla. That's the entertainment for that. And finally, we come to Hollywood Studios. Now, Hollywood Studios is not going to be 100% open. Any of the stage shows, like Frozen and Indiana Jones and Star Wars, not the Star Wars show, not the rides, they will not be opening. That was what was said. But at Hollywood Studios, you're going to get Aliens, Flying Saucers, Swirling Saucers, I apologize, Lightning McQueen's Race Academy. I don't know why that's open. That's really not, it's a small space. It's actually, I'm not a fan of it. I honestly wish they would do something different with that. I wish that whole area would be basically for a meet and greet for characters, barricaded so that you could do pictures with them like it was back in the day. But who knows? Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway, Millennium Falcon Smuggler's Run, Muppets 3D, Rock and Roller Coaster, Slinky Dash, Star Tours, Star Wars Rise of Resistance. Just so you know, there will be no virtual queue and no single rider lines. It is basically going to be straight up regular line, and I'm telling you right now, when that park opens up, and there's no virtual queue, everyone's running right there, and it's going to be a forever line, just so you all know. When you go to the parks and you see that the line is over 90 minutes, or it's probably going to be more than that because of the 6 feet apart, but it's going to be a very long wait. So bear with everyone, but that's because of they're not doing virtual queues. I think after they realize, after a couple weeks, I hope they realize, hey, we need those virtual queues. Twilight Tower of Terror, Toy Story Mania, Vacation Fun at Mickey's Short Theater. That's the brand new little theater they just rebuilt. And Walt Disney Presents, where you can get your... you can look at all the artifacts of Walt Disney's life and everything. The cavalcades will be of Disney Junior, Star Motorcade, Mickey Friends, and Pixar Motorcade. I think they're just going to drive around from the entrance of Hollywood and just go around in a circle. I think they're going to end over by where Star Wars is, where Star Tours is. I think there's a gate over there where they can just go right back over there. So I think that's where the motorcade is going to be. So look forward to those. That's going to be pretty cool to see. But that is what's going to be open. So we have talked about the reservation. We have talked about what rides are going to be open. And we have spoken about the ending of complimentary magic bands. So let's talk about when Epcot opens. Epcot has announced that they are going to do a smaller version of Food and Wine. Yes, you heard that correctly. You have heard that they are going to downsize Food and Wine because they missed out on all of Flower Garden. So they are bringing Food and Wine early, and I think, if I'm 100%, let me go look. So I looked up. They are combining Flower and Garden and Food and Wine together because they did not sell the merchandise of Flower and Garden. So they're going to combine both parties' events on a smaller scale starting July 15th. Now, I looked it up. There is no end date. So this could be what they're going to do until possibly, I would say, till Christmas. Why do I say Christmas? Because they are still in talks of having Christmas at Disney. Now to the sad news. Disney has officially canceled Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party. A couple weeks ago, they had mentioned that they are going to honor all tickets for that event. Unfortunately, they are going back on what they said. It's not to be spiteful, but it's mostly because the numbers of COVID-19 are rising in Florida, but they are not rising in Orlando up to Jacksonville. Everything from south of Orlando is rising. And that's because of bars, beaches, and everything, nightlife are open down there. So our governor had made its statement that we are all required when you come down here to wear masks. So I just wanted to give that little out to you, that if you're afraid that the COVID-19 is very high here, yes, true, but not in Orlando. So you don't have to freak out. Orlando mayor is trying to jump on stopping it before it got here. So that is why he is doing what he did. There is somebody who is trying to, how do I say it? He's suing a lot of Florida cities for making the mask mandatory. I'm not going to get into it, but if on Tuesday it does pass by a court judge, the masks will be no longer mandatory and no one can overturn it. So that means masks will actually be considered illegal for human rights if it goes through. It seems like it's working down there, down in Florida Keys. So we'll see what happens here in Orlando. Also, what was canceled was the Typhoon Lagoon H2 Glow Party event has also been canceled for this year. But let's get back to the Mickey's Not So Scary. Yes, it's sad that it was canceled, but as you can clearly see, Disney is still giving out, Mickey and Minnie and all of them are coming out. So I wouldn't not assume that you're not going to see a Halloween Mickey. I would suggest that they might do what they're doing now, which is a cavalcade where they will have the Halloween part of it, especially with Halloween starting in August. So I wouldn't be shocked to see if they do the characters dressed up in their Halloween costumes for those 3 months. Now, because this is canceled, they haven't canceled Christmas yet. We don't know anything about what's going on with Christmas, and that is why I mentioned the whole Epcot thing, because they have no end date for the Flower and Garden and Food and Wine combination festival, only because of they don't know if they're still doing Christmas with the candlelight procession, which is the most famous thing that goes on over here. So, how do they work this out? Could they do something different? Like, could they find a way to maybe spread out more days for the procession? I don't know how they're going to do it. But I think the reason why there's no end date for the festival is because of if they do decide to do Christmas, everything would switch over to the Christmas festival. So that is why they haven't decided on what they're going to do there. All right, on to our next subject. Now, this actually ties into the next subject. Everyone has been worried about the COVID-19 cases have been rising here in Florida. So they have actually been asking Disneyland also, but Disney World to delay their opening. And they're not going to. And the reason why they're not going to is because starting this week right here, coming up, they are bringing back, maybe a quarter? Yeah, maybe about a quarter of employees back, cast members. So they're bringing them back to retrain them because it's going to be, from this week coming up? It would be exactly 2 weeks of their new retraining so that they're ready to be ready for the reopening when it comes to COVID-19, because everyone's got to get retrained. That's the whole thing. Everyone's going to get retrained. I have not been called back. I don't know if I'm getting called back. Now, here's the thing. If it is a quarter, I would still be unemployed with still thousands and thousands of people, which does not help us because, as we all know, that the CARES Act with the extended unemployment ends at the end of July, if that is not extended. Also, a lot of unemployed cast members have not received a dime yet. Still, it is now June 21st. Think about that. They were unemployed in April. It is now 2 months later. They had April 18th. So now it's about over 2 months. 2 months and 2 days, and they still have not received a payment, because they are still backed up here in the unemployment line. And with more COVID-19 effects, we are getting more and more and more people to get unemployed. We were fine in the beginning for the reopening, but because we decided to not restrict other states, I'm sorry to say this, but we really should have restricted other states from coming here. It should have just been Floridians first for the first couple of months to see how it worked out, and then you could have invited other states to come back. But that is my opinion, and actually it's a lot of other people's opinions as well. But that is why I tell people, and when they said, they should cancel. Well, they're not going to. The CDC says that they are still better equipped to reopen. So they're going by CDC. The CDC says yes, so they're going to still do it. Plus, they're not going to tell the people that they're bringing back to start training. I believe it's on Tuesday or Wednesday this week. I believe it was. I don't think they're going to tell them, hey, by the way, you're not coming back to work. You're back to unemployment, after they just told unemployment they're not. They're done. If they did accept it. And some of them are coming back that didn't receive a dime, so now they're going to make a paycheck. And I'm sorry to say this to the people who are saying, no, close it. Well, now you're just causing people to not have money, and there's a lot of hate I have for some people who say that, because honestly, you might be getting unemployed or you might be getting money and stuff, but there are others who are not still, and by you not, and you keep on saying that we're all in this together, well, you're not. You're thinking about yourself. So, butt out. Let's head off to the next subject, because I don't want to get back into that, because if we all remember, I had an angry episode last week, and I don't want to have another one like that. When you come to the theme parks, when they open up, they will have restaurants open, and they will be socially distanced. On the app now, you will be able to use your app and get past the hostess. You can now book yourself in for a reservation, and they will have certain times that you can come for that reservation while in the park. Now, I think you have to wait. Now, hold on. Let me take a look. So I don't think you have to wait till you get in the park to book. I tried looking for that, but it doesn't say anywhere where it says we have to look. We have to be in the park. Right now, only Magic Kingdom has that open. Animal Kingdom has not posted theirs yet. So there's that. There will be a character dining, but only at the new Topolino's over at the Riviera. But it will not be they will not be coming close to your, to your table. They will be socially distanced as well. Now, what's great about this new mobile check-in is, yes, you get to pass the front desk and everything, but along with this, they will give you a time when to come back, and it will tell you, hey, your table's ready, and then that way you don't have to be sitting around. You can go on a couple of rides, and then when they tell you it's ready, you could go. That way you don't have to be sitting around waiting, and there's a whole bunch of people packed in one spot. So I think that's a pretty cool new thing that they're doing, and I hope it stays. Disney has posted their health advisory of everything, so you can go on their website and check that out. They will tell you if you've come in contact with somebody, and they'll tell you a list of things. If you have it, don't come to the park. I'm not going to go into that much because that is easy enough to find anywhere online. So that won't be a long discussion today about that. Disney has come out with a new system where you can keep your bag on your person and they can check your bag through, it's like when you go to the airport, they have the bag checker through, oh my God, what is it called? Let's just say you go through a baggage claim for the airport, you put it on, they check it through the x-ray. That's what they're going to be able to do now with these new scanners. They are going to check it out. They just started using them at Disney Springs to test them out, so they'll be using them at the regular parks. And this is to help the security guards bring less lines. So the lines won't be forever long. So now they're going to have these new machines where that you can hold all the stuff in your pockets and everything, and it will check for weapons and everything. It's so high tech that it can get everything. So that's pretty cool. And I would really like to see that when that comes in, because now it's going to make you getting into the park faster. It's not going to cause so many people to be backed up in a line, because if you have to do 6 feet apart, especially actually not anymore, but with the new system, new Magic Kingdom entrance now over at the TTC Transportation Center, it's now rebuilt. So now you could take it takes the tram right up to the security guards now, where you would have to, before you had to go walk around through these mazes, because now everything's is fixed. So now you don't have to worry about that. There's not enough space. So I could understand that this is actually a pretty good, smart move on their part. Hong Kong Disneyland has reopened this past week, and they are following all the same guidelines as Disney World and all of them. Hong Kong is the second park of the Disney parks around the world to open up. So that was pretty cool to hear that they finally did it. Shanghai was the first, obviously, and I believe Tokyo is opening up in July as well. So we'll have Disney World and Tokyo. We don't know about Disneyland because Disneyland has approved only Downtown Disney on July 9th and has approved on the 22nd or 23rd of July for the resorts to reopen. Now, July 17th, the 65th birthday anniversary of Disneyland, is when they want to reopen. But there is no guarantee that it will, because it still hasn't been approved, and they've been getting a lot of backlash from Disney unions that they do not want it reopened at this time. They would like it to hold off. I don't understand how they're going to hold off, but we'll see in the next coming weeks. We'll get more information if it is approved. As we all know, the NBA and MLS seasons will be restarting here at Walt Disney World. They all are the 22 teams for NBA are here. They will start that at the end of July. And I think that's pretty cool because my Celtics, let's go Celtics, are in it. They can get a better position for the playoffs because they will be doing, I believe they said 10 games. Was it 10? I think it was 10 or 12 games they're going to play so that the final teams can get their final spots, because I know the Orlando Magic was only one game away from playoffs. So that is why they're doing the 10 games, 12 games, because that way that will give the teams who had a chance to get into the playoffs, they will now have that chance. So that is pretty cool. They will not be allowed in the parks if they are caught in the parks, and that includes family members. So if they have children and they get caught in the parks, they will be subjected to punishment, which is possible not playing. So I think that's a little unfair, but that's what they discussed and that's what they made up. But we know they're going to be here, and it's going to be fun to see that on television. Especially if you go to Disney Springs, they'll be posting it and watching it on the bars there. So that'll be pretty cool to watch. Yes, another thing about Disney for 2021 that just recently came out. Airline packages for when you make your Disney reservations. Usually you're able to book your airline with Disney. No longer will you be doing that. No longer. They will still have the bus running, but you will no longer be able to book your airline through Disney no more. So that is new for also 2021. The Star Wars event that was going to happen over at the Disneyland Anaheim area has been canceled. That is said. And also the convention itself, Star Wars convention in Anaheim, has been canceled. Just so you know, if any of you are going out to Anaheim for that, it is canceled. They will see you all again next year, they said. So just make sure you get your updates on refunds on that. So get on that, please. I apologize. They are coming back in 2022. Not 2021. I apologize. It will be back in the year 2022. Just so you all know. That is all for today. Obviously, that won't be all of Disney's updates, but that is for Disney at this moment. So I would like to say, everyone, have a happy Father's Day and have a magical day. Actually, I'll give you one last thing. The Minnie Mouse merchandise that has usually been coming out every month, they have stopped that at the moment. I know they are back to stockpiling up on, I believe it's this month. June's is up, but I think July is going to be done. So look out for that. And July is not going to be coming out, but look out for the Minnie Mouse for the month of June, for all you who have been collecting that on Shop Disney. All right, as I said to you all, have a wonderful day and have a magical day. All right.
Bye.